Hi everyone. Actually, I am making this video because many of my students, they told me that they were able to understand the conceptual clarity concepts and they are also doing so many problems and everything. But when it comes to writing an exam in the examination hall or in the exam atmosphere, they are not able to perform well. And many of you might also be facing the same issue, right? You might be studying so much, you might be doing the PYQs, you might be practicing so many CSAT questions and everything. But when it comes to the real examination hall, when it comes to exam pressure and all, you won't be able to do it properly. And when you take that examination paper, when you take that CSAT paper, and when you go to your room and when you are doing it in your room, maybe you will feel like, oh, this was very easy, this question was very easy and all. So this happens with many of the students. Don't worry, this happens with everyone. So there are some things that you should know to tackle this problem. Okay, especially when it comes to CSAT, I always say that there are two important things that helps you clear the CSAT paper. One is of course the conceptual clarity. Okay, you should be the conceptual clarity should be very good. You should be very well versed with all the concepts and everything. So you should not by heart anything. You can learn the tricks and everything, but whenever you are learning a trick, you should know how the trick comes. Because when it comes to UPSC is in CSAT, UPSC is framing the questions in such a way that they will try to bring innovative ideas and everything. Okay, so you should be having that conceptual clarity. Then only if UPSC asks some innovative questions or anything, you will be able to answer those questions. Those questions. Okay, so that is very important. Along with that, you have to do the PYQs and everything. And again, if you are facing any issues and everything with conceptual clarity, or if you want assistance in CSAT and everything, you can join the Telegram channel, my Telegram channel. I'll be giving the link for that in the description box as well. Okay, and I'm also planning to, I know that I haven't been doing a lot of videos through this YouTube channel, but I'll be doing more videos. I'll try to do the videos of the most important concepts that you should be aware of when you are going to write the exam, because there are some areas where UPSC tends to ask more questions. So some areas you should be more aware of. So that kind of videos I'll be making, and I'll also do 2024 questions as well. 2022 questions and 23 questions are already in the channel, but 2024 questions I'll be doing. And okay, so let's come back. So along with conceptual clarity, the one of the main thing that helps students to clear CSAT is their approach when they are in the examination hall. So this is very important. So whenever you are approaching, how you are approaching the paper, are you okay? Whether you are facing any troubles while you are doing the paper, whether you are having stress and everything. So in that stressed examination atmosphere, you should be able to do the paper properly. So that is actually very important. And again, you know that CSAT is what? CSAT is testing your aptitude. So this everything comes, these are all your aptitude. So if you want to do well in the examination hall, you should be actually very confident. So how can you improve your confidence in CSAT? Again, you should be very well versed with the concepts. You should do PYQs. You should take many tests and everything. And then if you are going into an examination hall, you will feel more confident. So that is one thing that's actually very important. And again, I have taken 2023 paper here. So I will show you how you need to approach the paper by showing you exactly how you should do in the examination hall. So I have taken the 2023 paper. Why 2023? Because that was the toughest CSAT paper in all the last 5 or 6 years. Okay, so that's why I have taken this paper. Okay, so when it comes to approaching CSAT paper, normally students have multiple approaches. Some of you must be doing comprehension first, right? And then you will be doing the maths part. Some of you, they will, if they feel that they are very confident in maths and everything, they will be doing maths first, and then they will be going for comprehension. So some students might be doing like this, and some students, they will be having a mixed approach as well. They will be mixing up. They will do according to the paper itself. So maybe starting they will do comprehension, then they will go for math, then again com. So that it depends. Actually, each of this approach is okay. Okay, each of this approach is fine. But one thing you should be aware of is that whichever approach you take, whichever approach you take, you should be able to see the 80 questions. I'm not saying you have to do all the 80 questions. You should be able to see these 80 questions in the paper. So how can you do that? This is actually very difficult, right? You might all be when you are writing the CSAT papers and everything, you know how it is difficult to reach the 80th question, correct? So I'm not saying you have to do every 80 question, but at least you should see the 80 questions, because when you go to the back of the paper and everything, maybe the 75th question may be very easy, 78th question may be very easy, 80th question may be very easy. So if you don't see those easy questions, there is that is actually very it's not good, because easy questions many of the students will be doing. So you have to see the easy questions. So that's why I'm saying you must see the 80 questions. So how can you do that? So how can you do that means, again, when it comes to this paper, I always say that it's more important to not attend a question than to attend a question. Why? Because you have to take that decision. Decision making is again very important when it comes to CSAT. So you have to take that decision whether you are going to write a question or not within like 10-15 seconds. So if you see a question, you should take that decision whether you are going to do it or not. If you feel that question is difficult, or if you feel that the question is actually you need some thinking and everything, don't do it in the first attempt. Okay, in the first instance. So in the first round, you do the questions where little thinking is required. So I will show you how you need to do that and everything. So that type of questions you attempt first. All the difficult questions, all the questions where you need to think a lot, you do it in the second round. Okay. So if I'm just when I'm showing you this 2023 paper, I'm going to take a mixed approach, and I prefer this approach because what happens is that you know that in 2023 comprehension was actually very easy. Comprehension was very easy, but maths part was difficult. Okay. But when it comes to 2024, it changed. Comprehension was comparatively difficult. When you compare it with 2023, it was difficult comprehension, but maths was, compared to 2023, it was very easy. So if you are having a mixed approach, again, you should be good in comprehension and maths as well. So you have to study for comprehension. You have to do the PYQs. UPSC is using some language, UPSC language, and everything is there. So UPSC is framing the passage in some kind of ways. So you have to be well versed with PYQs. So you should be good in comprehension also. So if you are taking a mixed approach, the balancing will be there. If comprehension is easy, you will get marks from the comprehension, and maths you might be getting lower marks. But if comprehension is difficult and maths is easy, if you are doing a mixed approach, if you are giving a mixed approach, you will get more marks from the math side. So that balance will be there, because you don't know when you are going to attempt the CSAT paper, you don't know which part is going to be difficult, which part is going to be easy. You don't know. So that happens. So always take I prefer mixed approach. I'm not saying you have to do it. You can do whatever approach that I mentioned here. It's fine, no problem. But in this paper, the paper I have taken 2023 paper, so I will be showing you a mixed approach here. So I am taking, so when I am getting this paper, don't worry whether it's going to be easy or not. Let it be, whatever it be, it's fine. If it's easy or difficult, there will be questions which is going to make you pass the examination, because you know you don't need to get 100 or 120 marks in this paper. You just need 66 marks. So you have to pass the paper. That's it. Doesn't matter if you're getting 100 marks or 67 marks. Just you need to pass it. So whatever you need to pass the exam, it will be there in the examinations. Your duty is to find those things, pick those questions, and do it. Okay. So again, when it comes to comprehension and all, I always say that many students, what they will do when you are getting a paper like this, what they will do, you are already under a lot of stress. You are going to write the exam. After 1 year of preparation, you're going to write the exam. Maybe you have written it 2 times, maybe 3 times, maybe 4 times. So all that pressure is there inside you. So what happens is that when you're going to read a passage, you will read the passage, nothing will go to your mind. Correct? You may read it again. You may read it again. Maybe you are reading the passage 2-3 times. Then you are going to the question. You will read the question again. Maybe you will read the passage, and then only you are going to answer it. So this happens with many aspirants. Don't do that. Okay. So the best way to approach passages is you go to the passage, you go to the question, you read the question, you read the options, and then you go and read the passage. And many a times, especially in 2023 paper, you can see that many passages you can answer even without reading the passage also. If you know the UPSC language very well, you can easily tackle the passage even without reading it. So I'll show you some of the examples in this approach here. So when you look into the first question, which one of the following statements? So I'm doing this approach. I'm giving the mixed approach. I'm going it in the same order of the question. So I'm going to the first question. So which one of the following statement best reflects the most rational, practical, immediate action required to ensure fair and equitable allocation of water? So when you read the question, you already understood that the passage is going to be saying about some issues with allocation of water or some issues with equitable allocation of water, correct? So even if you are going to read the passage, you are only going to get that there are some issues in equitable allocation of water. Okay, so there is some issues with equitable. So what is the action? What is the immediate action? What is the most practical action? What is the rational action? These are all important. The action that you are going to take should be practical, should be immediate. Okay, fine. So again, if you see here, option B is all river systems of the country should be linked. That it's very impractical. We have to link all the river systems, and it's a bit extreme also. So this is going to be wrong anyway. Now we have like water channels between regions of water surplus and regions of water deficit should be created. It is possible, fine. But do you think it's immediate? You already know that we have like river interlinking projects and all. You know about Ken Betwa project, correct? So still it hasn't been properly started, the project, correct? That's just one project among all the river interlinking projects. So it is actually a very big project. It takes time, correct? So it's not that immediate. It may not be immediate. So this may not be also correct. Now you have like to mitigate water crisis, water demand of sectors like agriculture and industry should be reduced. Do you think that that is practical and immediate? Can you immediately and practically reduce the water demand of agriculture? It is possible, but it takes time. It may not be immediate. And when you see option A national pragmatic legal policy framework for water allocation should be made. So that is like just to make a policy. It's not going to implement or anything, but it is saying to make a proper policy for the water allocation. It is possible. You can do that. You can immediately do that, and rationally you can do that policy. You can. It is also practical. So this is going to be the answer. Even if you are going to read the passage, it's not going to help you in any way, because that's going to tell you some issues about equitable distribution of water or anything. So here you don't need to read the passage to answer the question. So this is actually an easier passage. So you go and answer this one. So you are going to write it as A. Now, if you properly do it, it will only take like 1 or 2 minutes, even less than a minute, to answer this question. Correct? And now when you look into the second question, which one of the following statement best reflects what is implied by the passage? Okay, fine. So option A says that education system must be strengthened in rural areas. Okay, it can be. Large scale and effective implementation of skill development is in the, okay, it's talking about skill development. For economic development, health and nutrition of only skilled workers need special attention. Do you think that is correct? Because for economic development, health and nutrition is important, but when you talk that only skilled workers health is important, it's not correct. We have to give the attention, we have to give the health and nutrition, we have to develop it for everyone, not just for skilled workers. So this is going to be wrong anyways. Now for rapid economic growth as envisaged by us, attention should be given to health and nutrition. So what is what UPSC used here? So here option A is about education system, option B is about skill development, and option C is about health and nutrition. So do you actually need to read the passage very carefully or line by line? No, you don't need to do that, because if you read the passage very fast and you understood that the passage is talking about education system, option A is going to be correct. If the passage talks about skill development, option B is going to be correct. If the passage talks about health and nutrition more, D is going to be, that's it. You just need to know what the passage talks about. That is, for that you don't need to read anything. Even by just looking, you can see some words like anemia, tuberculosis, malnourishment, so many things. So these are all health related. These are all nutrition and health related, correct? So the answer is going to be D. You don't need to read the passage very line by line. And all. So again, this is also an easy passage. You can do it within 1 minute, correct? So this too you can do. Now, when you are moving on to the third one, see again, which one of the following statement best reflects the best, most logical and rational message? Okay, fine. So this is asking about the message of the passage. So when you see there are two, this is a direct question, like message is a direct question. So what do you mean by message or best sums up or crux of the passage? So it is asking about what the passage as a whole gives you as a message, correct? So you don't need to go line by line. It's about a message. So what that's the passage talks about. That's only what you need to know in order to say what is the message. Okay. Now again, if you see the option, adaptation to climate change and mitigation response are basically the responsibilities of the government. So generally, UPSC gives an issue and says that it is the responsibility of the government, or if UPSC says that it is the responsibility of the private sector, generally it is going to be wrong, because every issue that we face today is the responsibility of everyone. Government must be there, government should be responsible, maybe private sector should be responsible, maybe the civil society should be responsible, maybe all of us should be responsible. So if the responsibility is given to a single stakeholder, normally that is going to be wrong. So here you can take it as wrong if you know, if you are well versed with UPSC passages, if you have done UPSC PYQs and everything, you will be knowing that this is going to be wrong. Now, climate change causes the change in government policies regarding land use. So that can be correct. Risk perception of farmers are important for motivating them for, again, this can be correct. We don't know. Since mitigation is not possible. See, if UPSC says about an issue, remember that always mitigation is possible. It's always, you can always solve the issue, but it may be difficult to solve the issue, but you can solve it. Maybe it is difficult. So if I am saying that it is not possible, it is extreme. Or if I say that you can solve it like tomorrow or in the near future, it is also extreme. Okay, so always eliminate the extreme option. So this is, you can eliminate it. Now you have only got two options. One is talking more about climate change. Climate change is causing something. And one is talking about risk perception of farmers, or farmers is more focused here. So it's the message. It's not asking the inference. It's the message. So as a whole, in the passage, what does it talk about? So for that, you just need to read the, at least, even if you just read the starting of the passage or ending of the passage, you can say what the passage is going to talk about. If you see here, it is talking initially about the farmers. Even if you read at the end also, it is talking about farmer. So more emphasis is given to farmer rather than climate change. So here, the answer is going to be C, because it's the message. So what this passage as a whole talks about. Okay, so again, this is easy. You can do it. Now we are going on to the maths part. Again, I am doing a mixed approach, so I am going in the order. So fourth question. Now, when it comes to maths, when it comes to quantitative and reasoning question, when you see a question, just read it fast, and you have to decide whether you are going to do that question within like 10 seconds or 15 seconds. Okay. Now, how can you do that? Again, one issue that students mostly face is that they will take a question, they will start doing it. After doing like for 1 or 2 minutes only, then they are coming to understand that it's a difficult question, or they are not able to get the answer. Maybe they will get the answer. Maybe it will take like 3, 4, 5 minutes, but that is also a waste of time. Okay, if you see a question, now if I see this question, if I am seeing this question for the very first time, I haven't done any question like this in my life. Let's say like that. Then you don't do that question, because you haven't done that kind of questions before. That means you need to think how to do that question. Maybe your thinking may be wrong. Maybe it will be correct. We don't know. Maybe you will take more time. We don't know. So that kind of questions, you keep it for the end. So you can give, if let's say I haven't done any question like this in my life. So don't do it in the first instance. Okay, go for the next question. And this is same for everyone. Even if you are a very good at maths and you are starting with maths also, anyway, you are leaving the comprehension side, but you understood how easy the comprehensions were, correct? So many students say that 2023 is actually very difficult. I know it is difficult, but it wasn't difficult to clear the way. It wasn't difficult to get 66 marks because UPSC has given everything in this paper for you to easily pass the paper. For getting 66 marks, it was not difficult in this paper, but to get, let's say, 80, 90 marks, it was difficult. I will say that, but it was actually easy to clear this paper. Okay. So let's say even if if you are good at maths and you are starting with maths, you if you haven't seen this question before in your life, don't do it. You first complete all the easy maths questions and then you go for the other tough questions that may take time. Okay. But if you have so much confidence, okay, you can do it, no problem. So it depends on everyone. But for most of the students, like 90% of the students, it's going to be, if you take this approach, it's going to be easy for you. Now, again, if I go to the fifth question, let's say I haven't seen this kind of question in my life before, don't do it in the first instance. And you go to the sixth question, it is not that, okay, again, if you haven't seen, again, you are seeing so many statements and everything, it's a little bit bigger question and everything, correct? So maybe you have seen it, then if you have seen this type of questions, you can do it, no problem. But if you haven't seen it, don't attempt it in the first instance. Now, if I am going to the seventh question, this is actually a very easy question. UPSC has asked this kind of question, so like 2-3 times in the PYQs. So if you are a student, again, it will be easy for you. You have to do some work before. Okay, you have to at least do all the PYQs. You have to be conceptually okay and everything. Then only you can apply this method. Okay, so you have to work something. Without working, don't go to CSAT paper. You have to work something before, and then you will realize that UPSC has asked very similar kind of questions before. Okay, like 2-3 times UPSC. So if you have done that PYQ, just by seeing itself, you will be knowing how to do it. So you can do this question. It's easy. Again, this is to find out the unit digit. So this is also, you can use cyclicity of power and everything. So again, unit digit, it is very common thing UPSC has asked before. Okay, it is a common thing that you are going to learn in third and in this chapter. So this is actually a very easy question. You can do it. Now maybe ninth question you haven't done. It is not that difficult, but still you haven't done it before. But so don't do it in the first in the maybe you need to think. Again, same for 10. If you haven't seen this question, don't do it. Maybe it will take time for you. So what happens is that we have done this 10 questions. We have only attended like 3 comprehension and 2 maths. That means 5 out of 10 questions you have done already. And you are only doing the easy questions. So it won't take that much time. Because comprehension, I showed you how much easy it was. So it might take only like 3-4 minutes to complete those 3 comprehensions. And also, if you are well versed with the PYQs, this might not take that much time. It is actually very easy, this question. You will take like 30 seconds only if you are well versed with this. So again, this might take let's say 1 minute, 1 minute. So within like 5 minutes or 6 minutes, you will be able to do it. And you are only attempting easy questions, and you are like, you already attempted 5 questions. So you will feel more confident also. Because in that first 10 questions, because difficult question you are not doing, because whenever you are doing a difficult, let's say you attempted this question, okay, so at towards maybe you spend like 2-3 minutes on this question, still you are not getting the answer, still you are getting confused and everything, so your confidence is also going down. It will affect your ability to do the other questions as well. So this all matters in CSAT paper. It's not just your conceptual clarity. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, if you are going to do the easy questions first, like your confidence automatically will go up. And you know that there is also very good amount of time. Like in 6 or 7 minutes, you will be able to do these 5 questions. And you are leaving the other questions like in 10 seconds or 15 seconds. Okay, so this is also very important. Now, I'm not going to do all these questions here, but this is how you need to do the questions here. So if you see, there are total 80 questions. So if you are doing in this way, you can do like 40 questions easily, because we have done 5 out of 10, and it is possible in this paper. You can take this paper and do it for yourself, and you will see that it is actually not that difficult to attempt like 40 questions, because there are easy 40 questions, including comprehension. Okay, so you do that, and you know already it's only taking like 7 to 8 minutes to do like 10 questions. So how much time it will take for you to do the 80 questions? Maybe like maybe 1 hour 15 minutes. That is, even before that you can finish it. Let's say if you take 1.5 hours also, it's fine, because you are doing you already done 40 questions, and it is one more thing is there, you are only doing easy questions, and because of that there is a high chance that these answers are correct also, because you are not doing difficult questions, you are not doing the questions which need higher level of thinking. So easy questions you are doing, there is a high chance that the answers are going to be correct also. So 40 questions, if it's like, let's say 5 are wrong, no problem. Or let's say 10 are wrong also, no problem. You are again having like 30 more minutes where you can attempt the easy, more difficult questions. So 40, 44 like that, it is very good attempt actually. So if you do in this way, it is very good for you. Again, if you see this question was easy, 11th question was easy actually. 12th question may be little difficult. Okay, comprehension also, if you feel that after reading the question and then reading the options, let's say you eliminated 2 options, and still after reading the passage also you are not able to say that which is the proper answer, then you can leave that comprehension also. There is no problem. Okay, so let's say we left this comprehension. This is actually very easy. Even without reading the passage, you can do it. Okay, so there are actually so many tricks for passages also. If you read the comprehension and everything, PYQs and everything, it is actually very easy. So I'm covering all that more elaborately in my classes. So if you want to join the CSAT classes also, you can actually either you can you can put a comment, or you can message me also. I'll be giving the link for my YouTube, not YouTube, Telegram link also I'll be giving in the description box as well. If you want, you can chat with me. If you have any doubts, if you have concerns, if you have suggestions or anything, you can message me as well. Okay. So again, when you are looking here, 14th question, maybe it's difficult for you. Okay, let's not do it. 16th question is actually very easy. It's a normal kind of question that UPSC asks every year. So there is a can here. So there is a high chance that these options are correct, because can means it's a possibility. So even if you are getting just one possibility, this is going to be correct. So there is a high chance that these 3 are correct. And again, this 3 was correct. Okay. So, and this one may be difficult. Don't do it. This one, it's actually we are learning in divisibility rules. It's a very common type of question. So maybe you can do it. Again, this is also not that difficult. Maybe you can do it. This may be difficult, or maybe you difficult in the sense, I'm not saying the question itself is difficult. I'm saying difficult because maybe if you haven't done any kind of questions before in your life, then it is difficult for you. Maybe this is difficult for you. Maybe this is difficult for you. This is also not that difficult. You can do it, but still see, if you're doing like this, 5 out of 10 questions, in every 10 questions, you can do 5 questions. It's not that difficult. Even in 2023 paper. So in 2024 paper, which was much more easier, this could have been this will work much more. Even in 23, you can do half of the questions very easily. So clear? So I think this, so you can, I'm not going to do everything. You can take the 2023 paper or 2024 paper or any PYQs if you want, and you can attempt it, like give 2 hours and attempt it like this and check how you are performing. And if you want, you can anyways, you need to take more tests also. So you can take any test you want. Whichever test you want, you can apply all these things and try it out for yourself as well, and try to take exams especially towards the end, like in April-May time. Try to take the exams in exam atmosphere. So many institutes will be conducting open exams in colleges and everything, even throughout India also. So you can take all those tests, because why? Because you will be more familiar to that exam atmosphere, because there will be a lot of students coming. It will be like college. It's not your comfort zone. You're going to a college and writing the exam. So all these matters actually. So that all experience you are going to get in those kind of open tests and everything. So you can take that. So your brain will get used to that, and then when you are going to write the proper exam, the original exam, it will be much more easier for you. Okay, so you do it in that way. Again, as I said, I'll be coming up with more videos. So again, I'll be giving my the link for my Telegram channel. You can message me there. If you have any concerns, you have any doubts, or you have something to add on, or something like that, you can just message me as well. Okay, so bye. We'll see in the next video.